to the Let's Discuss. Welcome to episode number 23 of the Let's Discuss Gaming podcast. I am your host, Triple J. Joining me, as always, is Dr. Gabe 101.
Hello.
And we have a lot of topics to talk about today because E3 was not too long ago. A lot of announcements came out on E3 for plans that are happening in the near future. The first one I want to talk about is a disappointment in gaming, or a disaster in gaming. Marvel's Avengers keeps losing players.
Sounds like Anthem almost.
Actually, I think this is worse than Anthem.
I haven't got a chance to play that game yet.
The player base, there are times it was going down to like 300, 200 players, and then it would just drop to zero. Now, I don't know if like zero was like a glitch. Maybe they were doing maintenance at that time because, there's no way 200, 300 players around the world are going to stop playing at the exact same time.
It can happen. It can happen because with Halo Reach, they shut down the service for a while. At the same time, they lost over like 500 to 1,000 players, and then went back down to like 200, 300 overnight, not every night.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying without a reason like a server being temporarily shut down, 200 to 300 players around the world, or even like 500 players, they're not just going to stop playing the same game at the same time without there being a reason.
Got a point, yeah.
And
wasn't there a DLC?
And then the next hour, the player count, it was like 250, 0, and then it was back up to like 250. So it was something like a server maintenance or a server update.
Okay.
Caused this huge dip in players. But Marvel's Avengers is hanging on by a thread.
That's not good.
Yes,
Spike, go correct.
Yeah,
go on. You go ahead.
Because none of the DLC that was promised or released is saving the game. Nothing that's been released post launch of the Avengers is making this game a must-have for people, and the player base just keeps shrinking more and more.
I see.
And I just don't know why Square Enix and companies like Sony and Microsoft don't just put it out of its misery.
Well, it's still considered to be a new game among the, I guess you could call it trends, because I'm in a class right now called the Technology and Trending course in my online university I'm attending, and based on what they're saying is that managers, supervisors, owners, whoever is in charge of these products and services, they try to milk as much as possible for basically what I learned from my classes. And this is my perspective, of course, but still, it's just that they're not going to just throw it away right away because people are still playing this game, even though it's only 200 or 250 people still playing that. So they're still trying to make more money by promoting microtransactions, DLCs. So as long as they still have DLCs, which they did make DLC not too long ago, earlier this month, right? For Marvel.
Yeah, I'll look up what was the. I think they released like 3 DLC packs. Last DLC pack for Avengers. Let me pull that up.
One of them must include somehow someone with the Black Panther and Spider-Man.
Actually, that's coming in August.
Which one?
Black Panther is coming in August.
Oh, okay. So I confused the two.
Yeah, it says the last DLC pack was Hawkeye.
Oh yeah, Hawkeye. Who wants to use that guy? He's too average. He's just a human being. That's it. Just like Black Widow is a human too, obviously, to some extent, obviously, but she was surgically enhanced or modified, like augmentation, genetically enhanced with like different chemicals in her body. Been going through espionage and sabotage since she was a kid as a spy in sorts. So she had a lot more experience than Hawkeye will ever have. So That's my perspective, of course, obviously.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, they got a lot of characters. Hold on, what is this? Avengers DLC leaked characters. In a now deleted post, one user dug up a list of future playable characters from the beta. The full list of unconfirmed characters is below. So these are just rumors of who they still plan to add besides Black Panther. They plan to add Ant-Man, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, Falcon, Hulkbuster, Marvel, Mockingbird, Quake, Scarlet Witch, She-Hulk, Vision, War Machine, Wasp, and Winter Soldier.
All this within a few months after release, or a year after release? Wow.
All this is, well, no, because Avengers came out like last year.
Yeah, September or October.
Like around the summertime.
Say October or September.
And all those, okay, and all those characters I just named are still in the plans. So like they had all this DLC planned out. They just didn't expect the game to be a total flop.
Well, they should have known about the repetition of the same enemies being played over and over when you beat them or when you attack them, whatever, because all they are is just robots, and that's it, is one robot after another robot after another robot, and that gets bored after a while.
Right. And also, like, I think the game had performance problems when it first came out, which is never good.
What problems?
Performance problems.
Oh, like the Xbox Series X or S specifically has. You mentioned the other podcast episodes that the S version has lower performance because it's a lesser version of itself, or lesser version of Xbox Series X, I should say. So.
Yeah, not. I mean, but then again, it's also a cheaper console. It's $200 cheaper than the Xbox Series X.
Right.
It was like the affordable console. But then again, when Xbox did their deal of $35 a week for 24 months, wait a minute, no, I think it was $35 a month for 24 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, $35 a week, you could buy like 10 Xboxes. $35 a month for 24 months for the Xbox Series X. When they did that, it was kind of like, well, yeah, if you can't even afford that, of course you had to qualify with good credit and everything. If you couldn't afford that, you weren't going to afford the Series S either at $25 a month for 2 years.
Yeah, my credit score is average or below average, so I wouldn't qualify for that 25. Not even the Xbox X, Series X for $35 a month. I can still afford it. Somehow, I can cut back on buying Amazon products that get there from my household. But other than that, I can still afford a $10, $20 service, a month service for certain things at a time. So.
Yeah, my credit, especially with the trouble I've had with credit cards and everything, if my credit score hasn't plummeted yet, it's about to. So, if I tried to apply for that deal, they'd probably laugh me out of the building.
Oh yes, definitely. I understand, James, and it's not entirely your fault. So, these credit cards, as a gamer in my 30s, credit is good to have if you want to buy that newest game at certain times of the year, but that's about it. Just if it's on sale, that is, like Black Friday, the summer sales, as well as the January and February sales, the after Christmas sales. Those are the only times I usually buy games on constantly, or at least able to afford at that time. So.
Don't even do that. I mean, I do check the weekend. Actually, I didn't even check it this weekend. Since I know games with gold offer some discounts that you wouldn't get otherwise, I do keep an eye on the digital store for Xbox.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, unless it's like a birthday or it's unless it's like my birthday or Christmas or something, I really don't buy games unless it's something that I really want or if it's something I can get cheap on eBay.
Oh yeah, definitely. I got specifically with eBay. If I could go partially off topic again, I bought the Hitman movies on eBay. The Hitman from 2007 unrated version. I got it for about $5, less than that, or something around that time. That's around that amount. And Hitman Agent 47, the 2015 reboot. I got that for about $10. So.
Okay, well, Hitman 2007, $5. It's cheaper than a box of ZQL, so at least you'll have something to help you get to sleep, like that movie almost knocked me out. I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you, I was in the theaters. I was so hyped by like the trailer because I forgot what movie the trailer played, but like it was so cool. Like some guy's washing his face in the sink, and then there's a guy standing behind him, and then Agent 47 stands behind that guy and shoots the guy in the back of the head.
Oh,
the guy
shit.
washing his face in the sink turns around and he doesn't see Agent 47. Agent 47's already out of the bathroom.
Oh shit!
And I was like, oh shoot, this movie's gonna be awesome, you know. And I was so tired, and I was so tired, I was stumbling out of the theater, like, okay, wake up. I know this movie's a snooze. It almost put me to sleep. Because the way I describe it, that movie Hitman in 2007, it was like, you ever take a sleeping pill to help you get to sleep?
Plenty of times, yes.
But it doesn't do the full job. It just leaves you tired.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Hitman 2007 did. It didn't knock me out, but it came also close, and I still felt the effects.
This is the 2007 movie, right?
Yes, the 2007 movie.
Oh wow! I thought it'd be better than the reboot. I heard the reboot wasn't as bad, but still a little worse than the first one. So
I don't know how the reboot could be any worse. What, the reboot actually puts you to sleep?
well, that's what I saw the reviews of each Hitman movies.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
But I'd rather play.
So
Speaking of Hitman, I'd rather play Blood Money than anytime than over Marvel's Avengers.
I think people would rather play almost anything than Marvel's Avengers. You know, so that's not really saying much.
Yeah, good point.
It's kind of like in 2014. Me and my girlfriend, a couple of her friends were at a wax museum, and they had wax figures of like all these different people, including past presidents and the current president.
Okay.
I took a picture behind like the presidential podium that they had, and my girlfriend's friend's boyfriend asked, so you're gonna be president? And I go, I do a lot better than this guy would, pointing to the statue of Barack Obama. And that guy goes, that's not really saying much since an Astro chimp could do a better job. And this was in 2014 when everyone realized he sold a bill of false goods.
Pretty much.
So, yeah, I mean, to say you'd rather play a game other than Marvel's Avengers, I think people would rather play. I can't even think of a gaming flop at this point.
Well, Blood Money is all right. I heard Hitman Blood Money. I was especially because we were talking Hitman for the last 5 minutes. So, but games like how should I say? There's this one game on Nintendo, or at least Atari, was some sort of ninja game. It wasn't like what you're thinking of. It's like one of those unofficial, right after the crash, the gaming crash, while people were still making Atari games for individually. So that was a kung fu.
It was an Atari game?
It was some sort of Atari game because it kept like looping the song like what da 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 what da 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 da, and I was like, okay, this is getting annoying. Any video game never mentioned that. He actually played that game.
Was it Ninja or Ninja Golf?
I'm not sure. It was some sort of like kung fu game of sorts.
I know what you're talking about. Oh, what's that game? AVGN review, Karate Champ
Okay.
on Nintendo. Yeah, I played that game. I beat it like in 20 minutes.
Because I heard, the song keeps played over and over and over, no
Yeah, you
stopping.
play. Yeah, it's the same thing. You have to hit your opponent before they hit you like twice, and
I'm talking about the
and the
song.
huh?
I'm talking about the song. It was repetitive, literally.
Oh, I was talking about the game,
Okay.
Karate Champ. I played the whole game on stream because the thing is, like, you have to hit your opponent 2 or 3 times before they hit you, because it's like the first hit kind of wins the round,
Mm-hmm.
and then like after that, the environments just change, and after you've been like in 6 different environments, the environments start repeating,
Oh.
and then it's like, well, okay, I won so many times that I went through all the levels. Now what's the, you know,
They try to make you
yeah,
keep
that.
playing it.
And you're not missing anything if you haven't played it. Karate Champ is definitely not something I suggest.
Sounds worse than Anthem, or worse than Cyberpunk 2077.
Actually, I think I would rather play Marvel's Avengers instead of playing Karate Champ. We may have had one game I'd rather play Marvel's Avengers over.
Nice one.
All right, next story. Nintendo released a firmware update, then removed it with no explanation. What happened was, this was for Nintendo Switch owners. The software updated itself. It was like went like version 2.0 to 2.03. So people who turned on their Switch and saw the update downloaded it, and with these updates, once you download them, you can't go back to the former update. Once this update changes your system, you can't go back to the previous setting.
Right.
So to download 2.03 happened, and then all of a sudden, like if you didn't update your Nintendo Switch the night the update was released, that update was gone by the next morning.
Guess the update that wasn't all fully prepared to be utilized publicly yet.
No, it's just it was updating switches that were already out. But it's just weird that like they released this update, and then like 12 hours later, people who didn't update it yet because they were asleep or busy or whatever, the update was nowhere to be found.
I guess this means is that there's something sinister about that update that we should look into.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about it. I've just heard that it was pretty weird. Like no Switch owners have come out that I've heard and said anything like the update did something sinister. It's just weird that a company like Nintendo, Microsoft, or Sony would release an update to their console, and only the people who were there to get the update when it first came out got it, and then it disappeared.
Interesting.
I mean, like me, sometimes I have nights where I'm busy, and the only reason I have my Xbox on is because I'm watching YouTube through it as I type something. So maybe I would have seen the update, but like if I had to be in a game to get the update, there's a good chance I could miss it if I happen to be busy that day.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was weird, but I haven't heard anything come out since that happened. I haven't heard anything about anything else happen.
Well, as long as they don't put nothing into the game of Mario, like they did with Super Mario World, where this guy, well, his son called him and talked to him over in the other room, saying, "Daddy, look at this," and then he looked at this and says, "Fuck you,
Yeah.
Nintendo," or "Fuck you, man," or whatever the phrase was. There was never an F-U-C-K.
It was just a 2 words phrase.
Yeah, F-U, pretty much. And he actually recorded it back, it was like over 10 years ago this happened. At least 15, actually. And he said to Nintendo over on YouTube, last time I checked, saying that, "What's wrong with you, Nintendo? Why are you doing this to my kid? The kid didn't do nothing wrong." and it was some sort of way he was playing with the Star Road. I don't know what he did, but I never been to the Star Road fully. So
what you had to do was first you had to get to the Star World in Super Mario World, which I don't even remember how to do.
Same here.
And then you had to jiggle the cartridge while it was on in the Super Nintendo. And if you happened to be on the Star World when you jiggled the cartridge while it was still latched into the Super Nintendo, Mario would fly into the Star World, and that message would flash in the background.
Really? You had to jiggle it.
And all the names of the courses were different, but they were completely they played completely the same.
Okay.
But the first course was called Nolly.
Okay.
But the courses played completely the same. It's just weird that just what was someone doing jiggling the cartridge in the Super Nintendo? How bored did you have to be to discover this?
That's what I wondered too. There's this other situation where you see Wario naked in one of the Super Mario Kart games of N64. You gotta do something where it's you gotta take the cartridge out, put something on it, and then put it back in. Press some certain buttons, and you'll see this naked Wario. Fucking yeah.
Why would I want to see that?
I don't know what they were doing. They just put this into the cartridge after taking it out while it's still playing, and just did something to it and then put it back in and did a button code, and all of a sudden he's naked. I never saw it, but I heard about it through Markiplier. Markiplier's Did You Know Gaming, or some sort. It was one of he was a guest speaker if I recall correctly. If that's really his voice, if I recall correctly. So.
Wow, that's.
I know that sounds very disturbing.
I'm gonna say, I'm not one to doubt Markiplier because I've never talked to him, I've never seen his videos, but I've heard of him.
Oh yes, he's very good with the Friday Night at Freddy's series. He was the one who popularized that game back in 2014.
Okay, so that's how he became so popular.
Yep, and that's how he was on the Tonight Show later on that decade, which is around 2017, 2016. So.
But the thing is, then it's funny you say that because I've heard different game codes. Some don't work. Just like the WWF Attitude Code, I heard that doesn't work. So it's just funny that
I would say Game Shark. That'd be a different story.
Yeah, that's different. That's a different story. I mean, you can unlock almost anything with a Game Shark.
Yep. I still have my Game Sharks.
Don't forget, there's a 5th level in Driver that you could unlock if you have the PlayStation Game Shark, or if you're playing the game on PC.
Right. If I can find my Game Shark memory card, that'd be great. I must have broken it by mistake when I moved it too much inside the compartment, or inside the not the compartment of the PS2, but the container. I have a container of my N64 broken N64, Dreamcast, and my Nintendo system from 1980s. My dad bought it, so I still got my dad's Nintendo system.
Does it still work?
Last time I checked, over 10 years ago, yes. So it's been over 10 years I haven't played it.
All right. Well, unless it got damaged since then, from movers that were careless with your stuff or whatever.
No, it's me. It was me.
Unless someone got careless when transporting it from point A to point B, it should still work. And even if someone was careless with it, these systems are a lot more durable than the ones we have today.
It depends on which one you're thinking of. If it's PS1, you'll good luck trying to put this back together in pieces.
But the thing is, Nintendo, you could, it could be destroyed. You could put it back together, and it would still work. My younger brother took apart the Nintendo I had from childhood because it didn't work, and he got it working.
Oh, nice. So he's very good at repairing stuff.
What he did was he took out the game tray, that black game tray when you open the lid.
Okay.
He removed that, and then he put the Nintendo back together just without the tray. So I guess the game was connected right to the connectors, and it worked.
Nice.
he didn't, since he didn't grow up with Nintendo, he didn't really play it that much, but
Mm-hmm.
he proved the system could be fixed. Not like Xbox 360 where you turn it on and all of a sudden you got Red Ring of Death.
Well, that's not good.
Or Yellow Light of Death for the PS3.
Okay. Back in the day with the Xbox, the original Xbox, the PS2, the N64, the Dreamcast, you don't get those red ring of deaths or white lights and shit like that. That was not the case. Maybe with Dreamcast, there's an exception because it has like a certain way of performance issues that might pop up on screen, whatever. It depends on how badly damaged or how old the system is of the Dreamcast. So it might happen when I play Dreamcast for the first time in like 20 years after 10 years from now. So that's last time I played Dreamcast was like back at least 10 years ago. So
yeah, I haven't played Dreamcast in like 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
But just like GameCube, the Dreamcast games, most of them are really expensive.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you can find, like Power Stone goes for like $40-$50 complete.
I still got my first Power Stone. Power Stone 2 costs like at least $100, brand new.
Yep.
So I'm keeping my Power Stone. Fuck that. I like the video game Power Stones, like the flying guy with the airplanes. Always like, yeah, I don't know. And you got these busty genie, whatever her theme clothing is, whatever, and it was pretty cool. It was very sexy looking, you know.
It's fun game too, because like you could rip like support beams down and beat your opponent with it.
Oh yeah, and then there's also this pirate guy who's like fucking like 5 times my size. He's called Gun Rock, I think his name is, and he turns to rock, whatever, and he just boga, throwing boulders at you and shit like that when he's in Power State mode. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, Power Stone was definitely a great game. Power Stone 2, I think the only thing Power Stone 2 had over the original is it supported 4 players instead of only 2.
Definitely.
And then there's a Power Stone. I heard there's a Power Stone collection for PSP.
Ooh, that's something cool to keep.
So I don't know how much it costs. I don't know how easy it is to find, but
it would be nice if we can reboot the series of Power Stone or have like a Power Stone remastered double pack and sell it on fucking Xbox One or something, or Xbox Series X and S, and then sell Power Stone 3 like months, if not a couple of years after that, like there was Shenmue 3.
I just pulled it up. According to price charting, Power Stone collection for PSP, it's $30 loose and $60 complete.
That's not bad.
No, not bad at all. So,
problem is I don't have a PSP, unfortunately, because I want to collect the Final Fantasy games, Crisis Core something. Then there's also portable ops for the Metal Gear Solid game. So, yeah, and Chinatown, GTA Chinatown.
Well, yeah, Chinatown Wars, I guess. I played it when it came out on Nintendo DS.
Okay.
And, they utilized the touchscreen very well, so it's like when I heard it being ported to the PSP a year or 2 later, it's like, yeah, but it's going to be like a standard game. Everything that made it what it was on the DS is probably going to be lost on the PSP.
Okay.
But also, those 2 games you said you were interested that I have for the PSP, Army of Two, The 40th Day, and SmackDown versus Raw 2007, those games I still have for sale.
I got Army of Two as a digital copy, so I got it for free with Games with Gold, and it's pretty good. It actually had, in the beginning of the game, it had a heavy reference to 9/11, so good way to recruit more people to the army at the time with that game. So, but now I can't do that because I'm too sick, technically speaking, by the army. So, yeah, I wanted to join my country, but I was too young, I was too fat, and I was developing health problems at 18 or 19. So,
Well, the thing is, you gotta be in top fit. You gotta be like in um, you gotta be like in top fit condition to pass. Like me, I would not, even if I when I was 18, if I wanted to join, they'd turn me away.
Oh yeah, I tried my
With
best
health
to work
problems.
my ass off during the summer of 2003 to like lose 60 pounds. I went to the gym at night 3 times a day. Then the afternoon I go to the biking for about 3 times a week. Excuse me, like 3 times a week for each of them, and then jogging like every day for about 30 minutes, whatever. And I take breaks throughout the day, every day for these matters, and I still couldn't keep up with losing more weight and also gain more stamina. So I was
Right.
improving, yes. I was getting
Yeah,
healthier,
60 pounds.
yes.
60 pounds in a year. That's pretty hard to.
And no, 2 months.
Oh, 2 months.
I was working out like an athlete, literally, at the time. I had the energy for it.
Yeah.
It was crazy, and
But
I
again,
still
when you
couldn't
get
keep
old,
up.
when you get older, you don't have as much energy as you used to.
Tell me about it. The last time I did that, lose 50 pounds in 6 months, was back in 2016. So,
There was, but the thing is, like in my case, because my grandfather worked for I think he worked for the Air Force. He worked on the computers in the Air Force.
okay.
And he said like he thinks when he was alive, he said he felt everyone should serve at least 2 years. And I'm like, wait a minute, even someone like me, and he goes, well, in your case, you'd be considered 4F,
4F.
which is endangerment to yourself and others because my asthma would disqualify me from being on any battlefield. My asthma and allergies, and also so I wouldn't be on any battlefield, and even like working around computers and stuff, my fine motor delays, which makes any kind of like carpentry work impossible for me. I they wouldn't have I wouldn't have any skills that they would have used that they would find that they would be able to have useful.
Which is why that's the way you enter the Army or Navy or Air Force. That's where they train you to do these things, right?
No, the thing is, it's just my fine with my fine motor delays, I just can't do it. There's a
Motor
difference
delays.
between being able to be taught and the difference between just not being able to do it. Like if you teach me and I try my hardest and I still can't do it, it's not you didn't teach me. It's that's something I cannot do.
Oh, that's like me with the working at Cold Stone Creamery where I did not make fucking ice cream.
Well, that depends. What were you doing at Old Stone Creamery? You
Well,
never even took. You never even brought up that job till now.
yeah, I know because it's one of those side jobs where it's like I was getting somewhere in life, but then I realized that at the time it was just 2008. So talk about like that. I thought I could make ice cream with ease, but the way they want me to do it was so complex, and that intricacy of things, like the way they make. You know how they make ice cream in a presentable format on Stone Cold Creamery? Well, that's what they want me to
No.
do. So to me, it's like I thought I was gonna scoop ice cream into a cup and that's it. No, you gotta
Yeah.
mix around with in a 2 spoons. You gotta do heaping teaspoons of this, a teaspoon of that, this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, I can't do all this shit. They want me to be a supervisor too, by the way. And I'm like, oh, I can't do it. I finally fuck this. This is too complex. Sandwiches is one thing. Fucking ice
Yeah.
cream is like, what's going on here? I worked
But
at
anyway,
Subway sandwiches, so.
that's what 4F means. 4F means 4F means you would just be turned away basically
Okay.
because you can't because you would be too dangerous to put you on the battlefield, and even like on a base or something, you just wouldn't be able to you just wouldn't be able to do anything uh, like like uh, like you couldn't be like a mechanic or something because you just can't make your hands work the way that they, to screw something in the right way or to remove something the correct way. I mean, and that's and that's what would happen to me if I applied. So
Well,
yeah, people
if
like
it's.
me and anyone else that would be classified 4F, obviously we couldn't, work in the Army, Navy, or Air Force. And at the time, I was scared that there was going to be a draft and that I was going to die if I got sent overseas. Um,
Well, you're okay in the Army's book, obviously, because they're not gonna bring some sick, not totally sick, but a somewhat sick person because you were considered to be underdeveloped or whatever in their eyes. Because let's face it, you can still be a handyman in your house, but you're not gonna be no handyman on no C-130 plane. So.
right, right. And the thing, like I said, a battle on no one would put me on the battlefield with no one's going to put someone that has asthma and allergies on a battlefield.
Definitely.
So, yeah. So.
And you have brothers, I forgot too. So, not forgot literally, but at the moment, it's like wow, they can actually recruit you into the army forcefully if since you have brothers. So that's kind of like a good exception, lucky on your part. So that's good. All right.
Yeah, they can't come after me because, because truth is, before you do anything, you have to pass a physical.
Of course.
Unless my work was falsified, I would never pass that physical.
Of course.
So I mean, like even in the events of say like a draft were to happen like in the next 6 months or a year, first off, we're in our 30s. They would want people in their late teens, like 18, 19.
Well, you can go into the army between the ages of 18 and 40, so we still got 10 years less.
But the thing is, they're not gonna come at like an army recruiter would not come after us first.
Of course not.
They want people because they don't want a 30-year-old private or in our case, a 35-year-old private.
Right.
They want an 18-year-old private.
Right.
Because an 18-year-old, you're right out of high school.
They embolden
the army
you.
offers to pay for college.
They
you plan
embolden
to go,
you.
which I even have more arguments that you shouldn't do anymore. So, but me on the other hand, they're just gonna they're gonna look at. They would have to be really desperate for the draft to start hiring people in their 30s that never served before. Is the point I'm trying to get. Because they're going to go for the younger crowd, 18, 19, 20,
Yes.
Because they think, okay, are we going to take this guy who would be eligible to retire in 5 years, or are we going to take this person who's got 20 years left in him, at least?
Oh, definitely. My friend, I don't want to mention her name, we met at a convention center in Manhattan, and she and I were temporary workers for this agency that no longer does want to hire me at the moment because of the COVID-19, obviously. And she's in the army right now, being a private and all. And I told her, like, you stay there for another 15, 20 years, you might be a major, even regardless of your sex, because she's holding her own ground by the looks of things. By looking at her pictures, she looks like a hard motherfucker. Like I wasn't expecting her to be a part of the army so quickly.
It's a good career. I mean, I've never been in it, so I can't really say it. My grandfather, he served in the Air Force a long time. My grandfather had asthma too, and his asthma was also really bad. But he could work on the computers. He could repair them. Like when I say work on computers, he could like rewire them if they weren't working correctly. He could do that. He could do that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how he was. And that's how he, from what I've been told, that's what he did when he worked in the Air Force. And like he also would be watching for planes that would fly into the country. Basically, they had this gun on the computer. Like you shoot at a plane, and like all that plane's information would come up. Where the plane took off from, where it's supposed to land, how much gas they have, what the cargo is.
Okay.
So that's what he did. But he's also the same one who said if any branch of the military tried to recruit me, I'd be classified for and told to have a good day.
Okay, no problem. So you like the guy from the first movie Avengers, What's it called? Captain America, the first Avenger.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like that
Well,
scrawny little kid.
Avengers. I think that was Captain America.
Yeah, I said Captain America, the first Avenger.
Yeah, when he was picked.
Picked for
Like
body manipulation and stuff
he
like
wanted to
that.
be in the Captain America project, and someone, I think the doctor said that his asthma would disqualify him from the project immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But like his devotion, still won him over. Still got him.
And it was the grenade that affected everything. He covered himself with a grenade. And
Yeah, he threw himself on top of it when the person that the colonel wanted hid behind a jeep.
Like that's gonna work.
That
Jeep was gonna be full on top of you. That Jeep was gonna be flipped over on top of you.
Yeah.
I'd rather run like hell. If I was a soldier, I would try to do my best to cover because of my body. Obviously, I'm 3 times the average size man. But if I was a civilian, don't know any better, then I might run like hell. So.
Knowing me, I try to pick it up and throw it away.
Wait, this is Call of Duty? That's gonna work. You have 5 seconds to grab the thing and throw it as fast and as far away as possible. Call of Duty in Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, that may work in that game, but not in real life. So.
Just to make this more comedic, I try to throw it away. It goes 2 feet and then falls.
To get shrapnel.
Yeah. Okay, moving on.
That was good. That was a good talk.
Psychonauts 2. You wanted to talk about this game.
Yes, Game Informer magazine is this month's edition is talking about Psychonauts 2. Now, I haven't read the entire article. It's a long one, and basically it's going to come out this year, sometime in 2021. I heard it was August when I looked into it further. So, to those who are not well aware of Psychonauts, who are younger than 25, Psychonauts is this guy, this kid, I should say, has these psychic abilities where he can block off mental interference, like the general, the hot chick, we want to call her, that's skinny and all at the same time, not hot chick. Even the scientists, they try to get into his mind in the first game of the series, and they couldn't. So he was one of those top recommendations for the camp to go through the training in General's mind, and I'm still stuck in that level. So it was pretty cool to see that this kid can do so much with his own mind, and he hasn't been trained for it yet. So he got these binoculars that you see it on Charles Lindbergh what's Charles Lindenhurst and stuff like that from the old school airplane days. So he was really into being a psychic and all. And now, after 15 years of its original release, the same company, I believe, is going to make Psychonauts 2, or they're in the plan on releasing it this year in August at the earliest. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see what's going to happen for the next after August. See what's going to happen.
What's the gameplay like? Because I watched the first. You did a sample gameplay of the first Psychonauts.
Yes, indeed.
I watched I kind of got bored after the first 15 minutes of it. What is the gameplay like? I mean, what kind of gameplay is it?
Well, it's a lot of cutscenes at first. So if you're not a fan of watching a movie, good luck to you. But after that, it's more of a platform. It's like Crash Bandicoot meets Jackson Dexter, almost.
Okay.
But the only difference is that you gotta collect these psycho mental capsules or whatever in the general's dream and all, because each dream has different types of mental capsules, what do you want to call it. So the more capsules you got, the more likely you'll survive in the dream or in his mind of the general in this level. So that's what I'm doing right now. And if I get caught in one of those dream webs, I might get stuck and die in that dream web. There's like 2 or 3 that I saw so far in the level, and I could have fallen into one of them by mistake. I was stupid enough to walk into it. That's my fault. I was still obviously I didn't happen, but it could have. So anyway, I got stuck up on the part where you do this platformer with the gymnastics and all, where you do these spin arounds and these flips with the wiring and stuff like that. You're high wiring, like you're balancing yourself on the wire. It was pretty cool. It was challenging at first. I was like, damn, I didn't expect it to be this challenging. Because I have to think for a second. Okay, I have to jump on top of the wire. Don't swing. Do swing. Do I go up? Do I go to the side? Shimmy to the right, shimmy to the left, drop down. So it was pretty cool that back in the 2000s, that was the best gaming experiences ever, because they make you think, it's challenging. Even the graphics weren't all that high tech, but it was still a good story, a good setting of Psychonauts, Siphon Filter, Time Crisis, you name it. After 2010s, the 2014 with Halo, I don't know what the fuck happened to gaming. But before then, the 2000s especially was the pinnacle of best gaming. The best minds who make the games.
Best stories in gaming.
The best minds who made these games were considered to be the best games ever, or one of the best games ever.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of games that came out after 2010 that I love the story of. So,
like what?
Well, the Walking Dead story, the Life is Strange.
Okay, yeah, point. Those are just like point and click. We're talking about like platform. We're talking about FPS, rail shooters, action adventure, action racing. We didn't see all that after. Well, Forza Horizon 5 was the one considered to be like not the best racing game of all time, obviously, but it's considered to be like one of those like, okay, you actually made it appealing to me to buy this game for racing, because last time I bought any racing games was a demo disc of Test Drive 6, was Test Drive 3 or 4 or 5, something like that. It was one of those old school games, Test Drive, so those who are not well aware. Test Drive is a racing game from the 1990s into the 2000s, and they stopped making games since then, so it was crazy.
I don't know, Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing Transform, that's a good racing game. Split Second was Xbox 360 era, so that was before 2010. So racing games, you kind of got a point.
Mario Kart 8, 7, 6, they were all right.
Yeah, but Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U, that was after 2010. So yeah, I mean, there were good games that came out. Unfortunately, a lot of them also turned out to be duds. Some of them I actually played.
Yes, indeed. But it's horrible right now with the gaming world, because these kids, or at least the younger gamers, they're not as excited about the gaming aspect, because it was the presentation of these games were all right, but they weren't as exacerbated or over empowerment or empowering or over exaggerated. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing like that back in the 2000s. Because when I but when I went to the arcade to see Time Crisis 3 for the first time, I was like, what? And then all of a sudden I saw Wild Off, like, what? And then he got a partner, Wild Fang, like, what? And I was like, you know what I'm saying? you never got that excitement before. You never got that.
I have a few other games that came out. What about Injustice: Gods Among Us that came out in 2013? That had one hell of a story.
Oh yeah, my neighbors who are my age, like the ones that play games, whatever. They're like, "Yo, son, did you play that Rainbow Six with Joker? He's a fucking killer." That type of feeling, because we weren't experiencing that as much after 2010. It was like, okay, it was dwindling down. But then all of a sudden it got back up with Injustice. Now I have a copy of it on my PC. I haven't got a chance to play it yet, but I will play it one day. So, but yeah.
Well, also it's available on Xbox Live Games with Gold.
Oh, perfect! I should have gotten it already. Right now it is.
Yeah, until the end of the month.
Right now?
Yeah, it's on. It's games with it's Xbox 360's Games with Gold offering from the 16th to the 30th.
All right. I want to go on that fucking site not right this second, but after this podcast. So.
Yeah, and there were also a couple other games like Enslaved, Odyssey to the West, um, Heavy Rain, which came out in 2010. So I don't know if they fall before or after that line. That also had great stories. Beyond Two Souls had a great story that came out after 2010. So, I kind of argue that, it's not like we lost, it's not like we're not being told great stories. I think we just look back on 2000 to 2010 era more fondly because that was the time we grew up.
Well, yes and no, because why is it that a 19-year-old, when I first met him, or he was 17 or 18, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I have to mention him over and over again because because he's a gamer like you and I are, but he's a younger form of it. So you expect him to be excited, feeling all giddy. His other friends are the same thing too. They're not into like impression. They don't feel impressionable. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you don't jump up and down for games like we did. Like, oh my God, James, look at this! Look at this! Time Crisis 3! Ah! Like, because they're not into that. When they see fucking Monster Hunter World, they're like, man. And when they see Anthem, man. When they see fucking Cyberpunk 2077, which was a tabletop game of Cyberpunk 2020 back in the 80s and 90s, man, what the fuck? You guys not excited for anything? Come on now. You know what I'm saying?
Other games, yeah, but at the same time, other games also, I've experienced that recently. Also, I got going Red Dead Redemption 2. And Alan Wake as other games that came out in 2010 or afterwards. There are games I don't have as much excitement for games as I used to.
Right, of course.
But at the same time, it's just. But is that our fault because we've seen so much that Is it partially that we've seen so much that it's really impossible to amaze us because we've seen it because we've been gaming for so long, we've seen it for so long. They would really have to do something outside the box to.
Yeah, you're partially right because we're getting older and such. We see the same thing over and over almost. But the younger guys should be almost like us back when we were 20. 19, 18, 17 years old. They weren't like that. When SmackDown versus no, it's not SmackDown versus Raw. So when SmackDown Shut Your Mouth came out, we were excited for it, and I was doing the torpedoes of the ladies and the breasts for the men. Remember that night that I shared with you my creative characters and all? So it was something like that. It's an inside joke, guys. Basically, I created creative characters now have torpedoes and for the females.
Basically, Dr. Games 101. Every man he created had breasts, and every woman he created had torpedoes.
Basically, I was over sexualizing my characters, especially the ladies. Because Scott Steiner, he had buffed up bodies and stuff like that. But like you said, there's nothing close to what I made.
And besides, Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner, is 1 in a million.
Yeah, he works out like a motherfucker, I bet.
Well, I'm saying, you created 10 characters that would either have that if they were men they had breasts, if they were women they had their breasts were so big they were actually torpedoes. But you would create 10, 20, 30 characters like that. Scott Steiner is one person.
I created Jeff Hardy Jr. I created Angel, who was a female with torpedoes. Miss Chang.
You created J and K for Men in Black.
And I misspelled J and K.
Those are the only names I remember. But I remember like your characters just being like so. It's like you think Lara Croft has impossible proportions. People who think that should have seen your created characters and then talk about impossible proportions.
Yeah, talk about that's hard to find these days. But they did show one woman on the Jenny show back in the 90s and 2000s. She had an XXX bra size, and it was very weird of her to have that kind of breast implants on her. But, with some teach their own, men have preferences, I'm surprised she did it, but she did it.
Okay, moving on. Rainbow Six is creating a new game called Rainbow Six Extraction. Basically, Rainbow Six, it's going to be a stealth game, but it looks like you're fighting aliens in this one.
Definitely. I saw a portion of it on the Angry Joe show. They were playing it in the background, showing you shoot all these weird blue colored aliens and shit.
Yeah. How do you feel about it being a stealth game?
Well, Rainbow Six has always been some kind of stealth game, right?
I don't know because I never played like the early games.
Well, Rainbow Six Siege it's kind of like you go in there quietly in formation as a team, and it's kind of like stealth at the same time, but you're shooting like FPS style. But
well, Rainbow Six Siege we're going to talk about next. We have a story about that, but Rainbow Six. Whenever I hear Rainbow Six, I think of Tom Clancy games, and actually, now that I think about it, yeah, a lot of Tom Clancy games were stealth.
Pretty much.
The only one that's really more shooter is The Division and The Division 2.
And that was after Tom Clancy died. Because Tom Clancy, Gene Roddenberry, those two guys were army soldiers back in during World War II. And they had these what if science fiction series like Gene Roddenberry's Earth Final Conflict, Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek. Then they had Tom Clancy with his videos now promoting Splinter Cell, Rainbow Six, and such.
Right. So I mean, I don't know. It just looks like it's. I'm not hyped for Extraction. It just looks like it could be another Dead Space.
Dead Space the game?
Yeah.
Well, Dead Space is a good game, the first one. By Dead Space 3, I heard it was very mainstreaming for the bigger audience.
Dead Space 3 had a lot of cutscenes. They tried to make it more movie-ish. Dead Space 3 was more action. 1 and 2 were more stealth, like survival.
It was niche audience.
Yeah, but I mean, it just looks like but Extraction just looks like it's going to be another one-of-the-mill typical stealth game. That's the way I feel. And since you brought up Rainbow Six Siege, just let me check my notes. New content is coming out for Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, I haven't been playing it for the last several weeks now. Rainbow Six Siege. Either I don't have the size for it on my hard drive, or no one's not playing it with me because I'm too rookie-ish. I'm still a rookie. I've already played the game.
I really haven't been paying attention to Rainbow Six Siege, and I really I'm more like nah either way when it comes to those games.
Right.
The Division, I just happened to play one time when it was a free-to-play weekend. And you know what? If that was more stealth, I probably wouldn't be interested in it as much as I am.
Right.
So, yeah. Um, so moving on from Tom Clancy games, Just Dance 22. It will be the first Just Dance game to not appear on the Wii. Apparently, uh, the Wii has still been getting titles.
Wow.
Although the Wii U came out like 2012.
Well, the first Wii came out in 2005.
Yeah, and it's still been, and even though it's been dead and discontinued, they've still been getting one title a year, which was the Just Dance games.
Now they stopped doing it.
Just Dance 2020. What is this one? Just Dance 22. Just Dance 2022 will not be appearing on the Wii. This will be the first one to not appear on the Wii.
Yeah, that sucks. Because most of the girls, they're into that shit.
Well, the thing is, I'm surprised Just Dance has been. I'm surprised Just Dance is still around as a franchise, but
it's popular to some hippie, people. Like my friend, my friend from high school. You met her before out after school. I don't want to mention her name, but she basically she graduated in 2004, and since then she's been buying the Wii games and also PS2 as well as the Xbox One lately. So she's into the Just Dance stuff and things that matter. So there's a crowd for it. There's an actual crowd, people playing it. She said she was having a good time when I was in a party chat with her. So.
How many people are playing it on the Wii? Is what I'm saying.
Oh, plenty. Not a shitload, but it's enough to keep the sales going. Like they'll make a profit somehow, some way.
Okay, well, I guess they stopped making enough of a profit for that system because Just Dance 2022, which comes out in November, will just be on current systems. So yeah, but
it's amazing.
But the first Just Dance title to not be on the Wii is going to be Just Dance 2022.
It's amazing. It lasts almost 20 years. Not literally 20 years, but over 15 years.
Over 15 at least.
Yeah, on the Wii. Because it was discontinued after the other games after 2010 or 11, 12 at the latest.
Yeah, when the Wii U came out.
Yeah.
And I think the Wii U came out 2012.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, all this time, even after the Wii was discontinued, after the Wii U was discontinued, they still had Just Dance coming out, and now that I guess this finally does put even though the Wii's been discontinued since like 2013, I guess this finally puts it to rest that there'll be nothing coming out for the Wii. I just want to double check GameFAQs, make sure.
All right.
Just give me a minute to pull up GameFAQs. Let's see. They have, they don't have anything listed. So, where they would have releases normally.
Well, of course.
Yeah. So I think Just Dance was that one game a year that was coming out on the Wii, and now it's not. So I guess they'll always shut down the virtual console. So on the Wii, so it's kind of surprising that Just Dance is still coming out available on that system.
Right.
But that's surprising that's been around so long. Far Cry 6 had a trailer, and from what we see, it's going to include previous villains from Far Cry games.
I don't know how's that possible because I heard that Far Cry 4, specifically the Far Cry 4 boss, the guy that you meet at the beginning of the trailer and all, like I heard he got killed, right?
I haven't played anything except Far Cry 2 and 3.
Okay, because Far Cry 4 is slightly better than Far Cry 3, what I heard. Because it has more of the animals that you can control the game at all throughout the level. Like you can actually either ride an elephant or some sort of rhino, if I recall correctly. I might be over exaggerating, but it's something like where you can ride an animal at least. That's kind of like Far Cry Primal, pretty much, but with modern technology. In Far Cry 4, that is.
But I mean, what about Far Cry 5?
Not sure. Never played it. See gameplay of it.
So it could include villains from that game. It might include villains from Far Cry 3 or 2, depending on the location and depending, what the circumstances are.
Right. Unless it was one of those what if alternate universe scenarios.
That could be it too.
Because most of the time when you fight against the final boss in any given video game, usually they die and never return. Like Siphon Filter series. Romer died in Siphon Filter 1, but his legacy, his well-mentionedness, his demeanor is still carried on into Siphon Filter 3, if not Omega Strain. So it's kind of like, because Romer, he's the head honcho. He's the main villain / antagonist of Siphon Filter. Because by Siphon Filter 3, they start doing Senate hearing stuff like that with Gabe Logan, who was the protagonist, and he talks about in his stories that Romer is this, Romer is that. He has a base of selling drugs and stuff like that, because the terrorist thing was a big commodity back in the 2000s or earlier. So, in real life, that is. So.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Not all the time though, because if you look at Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, at the end of the game, you actually have a choice whether or not you want to kill Nemesis.
Well, that was going to get killed anyway by the missile.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Basically, you can either say, I'm out, fuck this, or I want to fuck you up so bad before this thing's going to hit, you're going to feel pain before the actual big pain comes. You know what I'm saying? Because
because if you choose to finish Nemesis off, Jill has a magnum, and she goes, "You want stars? I'll give you stars." And then she shoots Nemesis in the head 4 times with the magnum.
Oh yeah, and then his body disintegrated through the explosion. So it's kind of like you're killing yourself 2 times. Basically, like I said, it's either walk away and fuck this, or I'm gonna hurt you so hard, so badly that you're gonna feel horrible, painstaking pain before the real nuke comes.
Yeah, that's good. I forgot about that. I forgot about the nuclear explosion that was going to happen at daybreak.
Yeah, Resident Evil 2, the movie depicted a very good Resident Evil 2 and 3 hybrid type of sequel. That's the best Resident Evil, a live action movie.
Really? You like number 2 the best?
Apocalypse, yes. Because it depicts Resident Evil 2 and 3 very well. Of course, there was no Leon, but
I like Extinction better.
You like that Extinction? That's of course Claire. I mean, Claire is alright looking, but I like Claire too, James. But come on now, this is not the best one. Oh, sure, they had Mike Epps, that fucking actor / comedian. He was good in Resident Evil 2, because he had a dual. Because he said to the Stars team, "Man, what the fuck is your problem? You got a fucking motherfucker bazooka. He's 3 times our size." I was like, I'll be doing the same thing too. I'm like, you motherfuckers are crazy. He got a fucking rocket launcher. What are you gonna do about that?
What about in Resident Evil Apocalypse when he gets into a police station and 12 guys are pointing a gun at him?
Yeah.
And he's like, shit, maybe I'd be safer outside. And then Nemesis came and they Nemesis killed all the Stars members but left him alive.
Yeah. And at the end of the movie they did one of those bloopers or extras cutscenes. And Mike Epps said to the tyrant, "Hey, where you going, motherfucker? Get back here! I'm not done with you yet, motherfucker."
And what happened? Did Nemesis turn around?
No, Nemesis just walked away. He's like, yeah, whatever.
Well, I like it. After Nemesis shoots like all the Stars members, he sees that LJ, which was his character name, and like LJ has two guns. You see the view through Nemesis. It says threat minimal, and LJ goes, "Oh, the hell with this!" He drops his guns, puts his hands up. Then you see the view through Nemesis. Minimal disappears, and it reads threat none.
He's like, I'm so sorry.
Nemesis lowers his gun and just walks off saying stars.
Now that, I have to say that they did a decent job. If they brought Leon into the movie, it would be twice as better. It would be the best ever Resident Evil depiction of any Resident Evil game or movie ever. So
Yeah. But I mean, Extinction, I don't know. There's something about Extinction besides Claire Redfield that, I prefer Extinction over Apocalypse.
I mean, I have my share of a redhead or two, but come on now.
It's not that. That's not the reason I prefer Extinction.
I mean, she was in Afterlife, so.
Yeah, she was in Afterlife, and she was in the final chapter also.
Wait, I thought she died in the fifth one, which was called. What's it called? Fifth one.
Let me get the Blu-ray case.
Resident Evil 5, obviously, but
Retribution.
Yes, Retribution. Okay. So.
Weird thing, Claire never showed up in the fifth movie. She was only in the third, fourth, and sixth.
Yep.
But like during the fifth movie, she put together this like survival group that like had their own security, so they were able to keep zombies out. And
whoa, Claire?
Yeah.
The fifth one?
Yeah. Well, it was off camera, the fifth one,
because
when Alice meets up with Claire in the final chapter, Alice came to this base that Claire set up.
Oh, okay.
And they had like gates to keep the zombies out. They had like a catapult to fight off the zombies from the top of their building.
I don't remember all that stuff from the final chapter, so.
Yeah, that's the only reason I got the Blu-ray was so I could see the fifth and sixth movie, because Gamefly, like a delivery from Gamefly would take 2 weeks to get down here.
Because based on the final chapter, Resident Evil shows some sort of I can't explain it. It was something about some scene kind of mixing up with the Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6 moments. I can't explain it, so I'll talk about it later. Sorry about that.
Okay. Next topic. There's a new Mario and Rabbids crossover game coming out. Did you ever play any of the Rabbids games on like Nintendo?
I seen the trailer and commercials of Rabbids and Mario. It was funny because the female Rabbids, she was dressed up as Princess Peach, and Mario was trying to kiss the rabbit, and shit. It was funny as hell because the rabbit was walking like she had a mood swing, whatever, like like walk away.
Okay, yeah, all I've seen was a trailer. They really don't have the gameplay, but basically they're crossing the Rabbids universe with the Mario universe, which is two Nintendo franchises mixing.
Right, of course.
The Rabbids games are fun. I just don't know. All they showed at E3 was a trailer. They didn't show any gameplay.
Do you know when's gonna come out? What year?
No.
All right, it's shooting for next year most likely, because if they're doing a trailer for no gameplay, then it's just a reveal trailer at best.
Yeah. So I mean, that's gonna be that's
If
gonna
if I ever
yeah. So
had,
when we find out more about it, we'll bring it up on future episodes. It's weird. It's weird because you would expect E3 to have to if something was going to be shown at E3, you would expect a lot of information to be shown.
nah, it'll be shown most likely next year. I bet.
Okay. Here's something that we can talk about. Super Smash Brothers is going to be adding Kazuya to the roster.
I saw a meme of that. I was like, "What? He said Smash Brothers?" And then,
Yeah,
well,
Kazuya is going to be joining the new the current, I should say, Super Smash Brothers game.
now there was this meme floating around my Facebook group. It's public. It's called Anime and Video Game Kingdom. To those that want to see it, basically Kazuya grabs Mario, and then the others in the background like Donkey Kong, Kirby, everything else. They're saying to Kazuya like, Kazuya, is this a children's game? It's a kids game. And it's like, I hate kids.
Okay, Nintendo.com has an article on it. It has a picture of Kazuya. It says, new challenger approaching. Kazuya is coming to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass Volume 2.
Man, I hope they're gonna have a complete version Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, because
Well, if you
after a
get all the
while,
Fighters Passes, then you have the complete version. Because
well,
like the
they
Fighters
still
Passes
added.
are DLC packs.
They're still adding players though. After a while,
Yeah, but I mean, once you buy all the DLC packs, you'll have all the players.
what I'm trying to say, James Triple J, is that they should have a complete package like they did with certain fighting games, like Tekken, for example. Uh, if I recall correctly, with Tekken 6 or Tekken 7, they had like year one pass or a year two pass, something like that. That's one thing you could do, which I'm sure they did by now. But I want that complete stuff, like that, like the minute they start finishing the last update, the last fighter to add to the game, put a copy out on digital, at least that, saying that this is all
a
characters,
complete
all
edition,
fighters.
yeah, they could do that, especially like if when they make a successor to the Switch, maybe for that system, have a complete edition of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Yeah, because I cannot buy everything. But if you put it at a discount for a limited time, and I'm willing to buy a $300 Switch game for that Smash Bros. Ultimate bundle, you know what I'm saying? I'm willing to do that, because I'm not saying that I don't have I can sacrifice something in order to get it. It's just that you gotta convince me, like, okay, what is it that you're gonna do to make me gonna buy the Switch game? Because I could have bought the Switch when I had my grant money from school, but I just don't want to do that because I have other obligations. So that's the thing, though.
Right.
So they have to convince the in between players, because I'm a Nintendo fan at one point in my life. I was a kid, but I got older. Pokemon was overrated, for me, that is, or not overrated, but like it's in the past. Like, I can't think of it right now. I can never think about it, nevermore. So that type of
Okay,
feeling.
well, I mean, I don't know how much these passes cost. Let me see.
Some of them probably cost like each card like $5, $3. Then there's also a season one pass, or a season one bundle, or a DLC bundle for 1 year for like $30, $20 maybe. I guarantee you something like that, which I don't want to do. I really want to spend. I'll spend no more than $125 on the complete edition. You gotta give me everything, all the costumes of year 1 and 2, all the DLCs of 1 and 2, year 1 and 2, and 3, if possible. You know.
Okay, so Fighters. I don't know about Fighter Pass 1, but Fighters Pass 2 DLC is $30.
Okay.
But the thing is, I found on this website, Fighters Pass Volume 1 includes Joker from the Phantom Visa parts, series, Hero, Banjo and Kazooie, Terry and Byleth, plus additional stages and music tracks. Volume 2 includes Min Min, Steve and Alex for Minecraft, Sephiroth, and Mithra, and of course now Kazuya, and there's still one more person that's going to be announced later that will be included in Fighters Pass Volume 2.
Interesting.
So yeah, I mean, I get it. $30 is kind of a lot, but it depends like how often you play Super Smash Brothers. Also,
if you and I had you had the Switch, right, James?
no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
I don't.
That sucks. So if I ever have like extra money left over, you and I, if I can give you money to send it to your Switch, will you play with me online with Smash?
If you buy me the Switch and Super Smash Brothers, I guess, yeah.
All right. Because I was thinking about doing that one with my grant money, but by the time I spend all the other stuff, I was like, oh man, I don't have enough money for it, not even for me.
But yeah, and like I said, there's just not enough games on Switch that I could get somewhere else for cheaper. I mean, like, why would I get Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Switch? If I was going to buy that game again, I would just buy the regular version on Wii U.
Well, they're trying to convince the younger players or the newer players, because I'm considered to be a hybrid of an old player, but not in the new stuff of Nintendo. Because I seen Nintendo products for years, even as I got older. Like Jay Witz of YouTube, his username is called Jay Witz. He's a big Nintendo follower / expert, and he talked about Smash Brothers a lot, along with Pokemon and Mario. So he's like, he's telling people like, hey, buy the game if you're like, paraphrasing that is, buy the game if you have the money, you haven't played Nintendo in years as a 30-year-old, whatever he's saying, in my explanation in my paraphrasing. So, because I watched a lot of his videos over the years, and he's pretty good at reporting stuff about Smash Brothers and other Nintendo news.
Yeah, I have to admit, I get a lot of my Nintendo news from RGT85. He covers the Switch quite extensively, actually. But the thing is, at the same time, it's just like, I wouldn't want to play this. I just don't have interest in the Switch, and there's not enough games to interest me in the Switch.
If they add them from the Nintendo Wii U and Wii of the certain games to the Switch, I would definitely buy like portable. Like if they do something with Metal Gear Solid or something of that sort, because that's what I'm hearing rumors of. They try to put Skyrim on the Switch. They try to put Bethesda games on the Switch as well because of some partnership between Microsoft and Bethesda, something like that.
I thought they already did that.
What, the Skyrim?
Skyrim on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, I thought that was more of a project in the making than an actuality yet. You know what I'm saying? Like they still making it or porting it or whatever they're doing for that system.
Let me see.
Of course, it's not too hard to port something to the Switch, but still, because obviously it's a Bethesda thing, because Bethesda is a partnership with the Xbox.
According to Wikipedia, a port of Skyrim was released on a Nintendo Switch back in November of 2017.
Holy shit! Oh yeah, okay. No, I'm sorry, guys.
It's been on the Switch for like 4.5 years, or 3.5 years.
My mistake, guys. Excuse me.
But like I said, I'm not a big fan of exploration games. I'm more of a fan of games like I know where to go, to continue the story.
Mm-hmm.
So, Skyrim, I played it once on Xbox 360. I really didn't care for it. But Yeah, so like again, the Switch, it's just there's not enough games to interest me, and like they don't even have the virtual console. You have to join like Nintendo's online membership club, which
Okay.
will allow you to certain games, and I think like you have to be like uh, once you join the online club, you only are off. You only get the games that come out while you were a member.
Mm-hmm.
So like games that already came out that were released on the Switch's uh, free to play or members play free service, we wouldn't get those games unless they came around again.
Okay.
So, but like, there's just not enough on the Switch to authorize me wanting to spend $250, $300,
Of course, yeah.
for just a couple of games.
Even with
It would be.
even with Nintendo Switch Lite, the lighter version, the smaller version, that's
Yeah.
$200 even. So it's like
Yeah.
I would still not
And
buy
then,
it
and
yet,
then
but
think and then think about it. You got the games on top of that.
yes.
So, and I mean, like I said, I could buy $30 Mario Kart 8, or I could buy a Switch for 200. Then I could buy for another $60. I could buy Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Right.
Yeah, for someone in my financial situation, $30 is a lot more appealing than $260.
Yes.
Especially since I don't leave the house as much as I used to, because most of my jobs are work from home.
Thanks to COVID as well as other means.
Well, I can't really blame COVID for it because I was working from home before COVID. Just because a lot of jobs around my city, they're either. I tried to help my cousin find a job, and basically a lot of jobs were giving him the runaround.
They tell them like 3 interviews later, we still need you.
No, like what happened, like I even one store was called Dollar General, and I filled out an application for him. He was next to me, and he was giving me all the information to fill out. I was filling it out on the computer, and I was using Firefox as my web browser.
Okay.
And my cousin goes to, after a couple days after he didn't hear from them, he's like, "Did you get my application?" And they're like, "No," and they told him, "No, yet you probably didn't fill out the application completely because on Google Chrome you would have gotten the last part of the application. The last part of the application doesn't appear on Firefox."
Okay.
So when I got my laptop before this one, I'm like, "Listen, Google Chrome came already installed on it. Before I switch over to Firefox, why not reapply for that job?" We reapplied, so I had him reapply for that same job, and there was no special extra part that came on of the application that was Google Chrome specific. They
Okay.
basically were just giving him a reason for the reason they didn't hire him.
Hmm.
So, and a lot of in some places are like that. I mean, he ended up having eventually to do landscape. One of the bankers that works around here, he also runs a landscaping business, and he basically had to take that as his job because he couldn't find something else.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I heard that since he moved out like a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, and now he lives with his girlfriend, he did find a job closer to where his girlfriend is. Like he's an assistant manager now, but again, it's I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know how. I don't know how. I just don't know if that job's actually, if it's as good as he claims, or if he just said,
Hey, a manager job is any good paying a job, because even though it's based on salary, as long as you keep it balanced in your life, like between work and everyday life, you're good. Because if I was a manager of a place, I'll be
he
balanced.
said he's got like an assistant manager of like Dollar General, but it's like $10 to $12 an hour.
Oh yeah, okay. That's still so small, but still okay. It's because you're in Georgia, so it's different
Right.
to have $12 an hour
Yeah.
in Georgia than $12 an hour here in New York. So,
Right.
all right.
I mean, I think the minimum wage in New York's like what, 10.50 an hour?
Now it's like $12, 13 at
Oh
most.
wow.
Because they try to make it 15 by the end of this decade, which was supposed to be 2020. But after so many different legislation delays, it's like slowly but surely creeping up to $15 an hour. And if not, it may be 15 an hour right now.
It's gonna um as long as we got people like Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema,
Oh, I found out that.
even though they're Democrats, they at least they're looking like they're making their decisions based on the issue and not based on their party.
Okay. But here's what I found out. By July 1st, 2021, New York State will have $15 an hour minimum wage. Fucking crazy.
Yeah, and look how many jobs disappear.
And they still continue to rise. The rate, keep rising it. Like, come on now, guys.
Yeah, that's why stuff gets so expensive. That's what people don't understand.
I want more money.
I mean, over here, like the McDonald's near me, it's basically almost all automated.
Yes, indeed.
That basically the kiosk is how you order your food, and how you pay if you want to pay with debit card or credit card. The cashier is there to ring up people who want to use cash, and to give you your cup if you ordered a drink, and to help you with the kiosk if you don't understand how to use it.
Yeah, they have a helper over by the kiosk.
Well, this was the cashier, but I mean, come on, a touchscreen kiosk is self-explanatory to people like us.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I haven't been to McDonald's with a kiosk before because I've been buying on DoorDash because it's more convenient that way. So I don't have to go walk 15, 20 minutes in the nighttime. So
Yeah. Anyway,
especially during the winter season.
To go on, Life is Strange Remastered and True Colors are coming to the Switch.
What is True
Life
Colors?
Is Strange, True Colors is a new game. It's going to be, unfortunately, it doesn't, they said the only character that appears in the game is Stephanie, who was in Life is Strange Before the Storm.
Okay.
But yeah, True Colors is a brand new game. But they're also getting the remastered version of Life is Strange.
So True Colors is like a spiritual sequel to Life is Strange.
Not really. It's not a direct sequel because it won't have Chloe and Max in it.
Okay.
But I mean, it seems like every Life is Strange game is going to feature around new characters, which kind of sucks. You know, you get so invested in characters, and then you have the game with the same name, but it's brand new characters that you have to get invested all over again.
It sounds like something with Metal Gear Solid, with Raiden and Metal Gear Solid 2.
Well, Raiden was kind of a different story because you did start out playing as Solid Snake.
Yes.
And until he appeared as Pliskin, I thought he died after the tanker mission.
Okay.
But
Snake
then
never
he appeared
dies.
as Pliskin, and that was just his cover to help Otacon rescue Emma.
Yep, Snake never dies. She just lives on in all our hearts.
So, I mean, as a matter of fact, we brought this up once before. Have you ever gotten around to playing Life is Strange or Life is Strange Before the Storm?
I have a free version of episode 1 of Life is Strange because it was on a game. It was either on a Game Pass or Games with Gold for free at the moment. So I'm still stuck on chapter 2, I believe. Because before then, I was having a hard time trying to find out how to use the paint on that woman that's very bitchy to that girl. So
yeah,
because you're like, oh my God, Becky, get the fuck out of my face.
What about when the thing is, unfortunately, you should just buy the full game and buy Before the Storm, because while Life is Strange Before the Storm came out later,
Mm-hmm.
the bonus chapter in Life is Strange explained the friendship that Chloe and Max had and what happened when they split up. And the main game of Life is Strange explains how Chloe and Rachel met and the friendship that they had. Well, the relationship, I should say, that they had. You know, it's kind of like for Life is Strange to mean more. You know, to give you meaning behind the characters that aren't there.
Right.
Life is Strange Before the Storm explained that.
Okay.
What did you think when Max got knocked down in the parking lot? Chloe almost hit her with a car.
I haven't got to that part yet, most likely.
That was like chapter 1. That was like the very first.
Was she getting hit by a car?
Yeah, Max was being bullied by like some guy that almost killed Chloe in the bathroom. Like she got knocked down, and like this truck stopped right before her, and then when Max pulled herself up, she looks at the driver. She goes, "Chloe," and Chloe goes, "Max."
Really? Because the way I saw it the first time before the rewind, the guy came into the bathroom with that female, and they were like exchanging.
Yeah, that was Chloe.
Oh, okay. But then the guy picked up a gun or took out a gun, whatever.
He had a gun on him.
What's that?
He had a gun on him.
Right. As you can tell, I haven't played that game in months, or if not weeks at least. So.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite game, but I'm willing to watch, play it every now and then. So eventually, I'll beat the game. Might take me another year or two, and I'll move on to if I like the game, then I'll definitely go to Life is Strange 2, and then I'll go to Life is Strange Before the Storm, and then True Colors. So.
Well, no, you should get Before the Storm, and then if I was you, I'd get Before the Storm when you had the money. Then I'd play Life is Strange, the original Life is Strange all over again, because Life is Strange 2 and Life is Strange True Colors is like a completely different cast.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm gonna show you the cutscene that I was talking about. This is from episode 1, so you should have seen it already.
You sharing it with me on Discord?
I'll show. Yeah, let me put it on Twitch, and then I'll throw it to you on Discord.
Thanks.
No problem. Okay, Discord screen. Let me know when you see the YouTube screen.
I see it.
Okay, I'm going to go to the YouTube clip. I'm going to enlarge it so it's full screen, and then... Okay, you ready for me to play the clip?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
You're one of the Jefferson's photo groupies?
I'm one of his students.
What the fuck ever? I know you like to take pictures, especially when you're hiding out in the bathrooms. You best tell me what you saw. Now. Answer me, bitch.
Ooh.
What are you talking about?
I know you're new here. Don't even play stupid with me.
I'm not new. I've lived here for years.
Then you should know the Prescotts own this shithole.
Then you don't have to worry about me. Worry about yourself.
Do not analyze me. I pay people for that. Worry about yourself, Max Caulfield.
Call the police.
Take a step back, Nathan Prescott.
Oh.
Oh man, you're telling me.
I haven't
what
got up to
do?
this part yet.
Hey, leave him alone.
Nobody tells me what to do. Not my parents, not the principal,
Stop that.
or that whore in the bathroom.
Max? Chloe?
No way. You again.
Go! Go! I got this! Get in, Max!
Get your punk ass in there now! Don't even try to run! Nobody!
God damn. I don't remember this part. I haven't gotten to that part yet, so.
It's episode 1, part 4.
Getting up to chapter 1, I said. I'm still on chapter 1 or 2.
Oh, okay.
So you ruined it. I was just about to say call the police.
Well, see, now you got a reason to play it, because you could say, you know...
It was boring at first, but by the time I got to the part where you dump paint onto that pousey woman, what do you want to call her, very arrogant, highfalutin.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's a good game, but like I said, you know, you'd appreciate the story more if you played, because like you saw how Chloe and Max recognized each other. Like I said, before the storm, the bonus chapter explains their friendship, how they know each other for so long.
Was there action in that one?
Huh?
Was there action in the Before the Storm?
Yeah, it was the same game basically. They even had a talking system, like where you had to analyze what your opponent, like say you were like in a battle conversation with someone, you had to analyze like what they said, and instead of just picking any comment, pick a comment that would basically pick a comment that had something to do with what they said. If you were trying to convince someone to, like, Chloe, she wants to get let in at concert, but she's only 16 and the security guard won't let her in. So you have to win, like, the conversation battle with him to get inside the venue.
Right.
So, yeah, but like I said, before the storm, I heard that it went back up in price. I don't know if it's on sale now.
Okay.
Digitally, but yeah, those two games I definitely recommend, and I just wish they would continue with the same characters, because we're up to like 4 games now. We got 1, 2, Before the Storm, and 2 Colors, but like by the time we were in Resident Evil 4, say, Resident Evil 1 had Chris and Jill. Resident Evil 2 had Leon and Claire, but then Resident Evil 3 was Jill, Resident Evil 4 was Leon. You know, the games weren't spreading out to this huge roster of characters where every game was different characters that you never saw before.
Of course.
That's the only thing I don't like about the Life is Strange series. Anyway, moving on. Another game that's coming to the Switch is Guardians of the Galaxy. I played Guardians of the Galaxy all the way through. I wish they would make a sequel. I don't know if they will, unless the new Telltale games. They should own the license. The only one they sold was The Walking Dead.
Right.
So yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy. If you like Telltale games in general, Guardians of the Galaxy is a great game. I don't even care about Guardians of the Galaxy, the movies, and I still enjoyed the game.
I like the movies of Guardians of the Galaxy, especially Volume Number 2, because they have Sylvester Stallone in it. Did you know that?
What?
They have Sylvester Stallone in it.
No, I didn't know that. But the thing is, if you play the games, you're not gonna be interacting with Batista.
Why not?
He's not in the game.
Why not?
Because the people didn't put them in the game. I don't know.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, Batista, that's like taking Hitler out of the history books of World War II.
I don't think Batista was ever that important to anything.
Well, he did that move where he was inside that big monster's stomach and was clawing his way out with his swords. He was like, ah!
Oh, they had that. They had that. He just didn't look like Batista. A lot of characters look kind of different.
Okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy game. Let me pull up the game cast. I don't even think he did the voiceover series.
Obviously not. I mean, too much work on Batista.
That's the reason. It's not based on the movies. It's based on the Marvel comic books.
Okay.
Do they have? Let's see. Plot.
Because I never got involved with Marvel's comic books, just DC comic books. And to me, it's like this. if you really want me to read the comics, please put as much emphasis of the characters and actors of the Marvel Universe in the movie set into the video games. That way, I can understand it better, and then once I go to the gaming aspect, then I go on to the comic books, because comic books are a little different from the movies, obviously, because they had their own setting, they had their own little franchise, but still, like, the way they did it was good. That's Doctor Strange love, not Strange, Doctor Strange. Then they're gonna have Blade, Black Widow, Thor, Thor 4. They're gonna have what's it called, Shanghai, something like that.
I'm on the Guardians of the Galaxy Wikipedia. This is what it says in the audio section. The game is based on a Marvel Comics series and the recent film with an exclusive storyline. It has a different set of voice actors from the film. The cast includes Scott Porter as Star-Lord, Emily O'Brien as Gamora, Nolan North as Rocket Raccoon, Brandon Paul Elves as Drax the Destroyer, and Adam Harrington as Groot.
I am Groot.
Drax the Destroyer is the character that Batista played in the movie.
Okay.
But you know what? Anything that doesn't have Batista is
oh yeah, you have beef for Batista, don't you? I remember that time back last year.
Yeah, I don't. I just have no respect for Double Standard Dave, which should be his new name.
Well, he's a wrestler, not a politician, so I give him respect as a wrestler.
It doesn't matter if he's a politician. It doesn't matter if he's a street sweeper. If you're gonna open your mouth and support groups, you should hold every group to the same standard. Not say it's okay for Antifa to riot and say, oh, but January 6th was just an abomination. No, you're an abomination. Double standard, Dave.
Let's not forget, James. He has a small baseball bat like he did at JBL on his limo, so he might do that to your car one day. Be careful.
All I got to say is that is, hey man, I don't have a car.
I forgot. You don't have a car. We're so poor. They try to make us slaves, literally.
The truth is, all insults aside, all joking aside, I would love if we somehow did get in touch with Batista. I would let him come on the podcast, and I would let him explain why it's okay for Antifa to riot, but why people involved in January 6th should be shot.
It was like an unarmed revolution at best.
I would love to have come on and explain that. But the thing is, he's not going to come on and explain it because it's a double standard.
Yep.
And one thing I've realized, people with double standards, when you actually challenge them, they don't respond. Because...
yeah.
Like I said, I'll even rehash it, like Lance Storm and Mickie James, two wrestlers I've always liked. At least when, and they also had negative opinions on January 6th. But when Antifa was crashing neighborhoods in the summer of 2020, Lance Storm and Mickie James also called that out. So I'm like, okay, they reacted to a group one way. They reacted to a different group doing almost the same thing the same way.
Isn't it amazing, James, that Twitter brings about the worst of people? Like myself, especially.
All kinds of social media seems to bring the worst out in people.
Well, Facebook's a little different because Facebook, you can type out your explanations very well, because if you do it on Twitter, you have to be very quick, agile, and also comprehensive enough to be making it in 100 characters or less, or whatever the characters is.
I don't think you have. I think that's wrong, because if your tweet's going to be like over 140 characters, they have like that little plus icon where you can send multiple tweets at the same time.
Yes.
and you just continue your tweet in that second box if the first one doesn't allow enough characters.
Okay.
So, like, if you could, like, again, it's best to put it, in, it's best to keep the tweets to one box if you can. But if not, they do allow you to hit the plus icon, at least on a computer. I don't know if this is the same on cell phones or not, because I never use I never use Twitter on my cell phone. I always use it on my laptop.
Twitter on the smartphone is not that bad. I tried it plenty of times, and it's not bad because I post back
But
2
can you
years
send
ago.
multiple tweets at once if one tweet isn't enough?
It depends on the situation, because if the person sends you a tweet and then all of a sudden another person sends you a tweet of this in the same conversation, you respond back to two of them at the same time, to those two users, which it happened plenty of times. They wondered to themselves, like, why is he including me in the conversation? Like that type of stuff, because that's what happens when I'm arguing with on Twitter online, and I didn't mean to be putting myself out there like that. All I did was just try to post something about that the artwork was horrible in the western area of the United States, because a Western world, I should say, of the Western Hemisphere where we live. Because how is it that in East Asia or Eastern Front, they have the best artists around doing all these waifus and Jill Valentine and other characters from video games.
At the same time, you're just talking about current artists, and you're talking about like franchises of today. If you studied actual art like around the world, you probably would say like the best artists come from 1500 in Europe somewhere.
But these artists are from the Eastern area, so they're not like, they're traditional. They're still stuck with their traditional ways. It's digital. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the thing is, keep in mind, like other than Native Americans, there wasn't really much here until English settlers came here and discovered America.
Well,
the only ones already were Native Americans.
Well, Native Americans had their own culture and values before the English arrived. So.
Yeah, that too. But I'm saying, people. I'm saying, like, it's the reason, like, Italy will have place like the Colosseum, which is like hundreds of years old and stuff, and while America doesn't really have anything that's from the 600 AD era.
Of course.
So that's what I'm trying to say is basically, also you're just talking about today's artists when if artists from the past were still alive, they're probably much better. But since none of us are art majors or have a degree in art history, our opinion of art is extremely limited.
But at the same time, after so many years of adding artwork or postings of artwork, like I'll add them as a like on Twitter, or I repost or retweet them. After 3 years, 2 years, I'm seeing countless of good, decent art from the East. But half the time in the West, the art is so like, unbalanced, blocky, reverse gender, SJW theme, activist bullshit.
That's different. That's just people selling out because they want to be politically correct. Which I've always said, fuck that shit.
Hey, what can I say? We both can't take crap anymore because we want to see good stuff online. It used to be good to go on the internet and explore and share all types of information and cultures and values. Now it's like if you try to share your values and opinions online, you're considered to be like a misogynist, a rapist, anti-woman, fucking like, woman progression, that type of stuff. And I'm like, what's wrong with you people? Don't you understand where I come from? This isn't some simple, mishap in my life. This really happened where I see that feminine related artwork really does wonders to the eyes of the behold. Because if you put like I don't care how old you are. If you're 18 over on the, supposed to be on the site, you're supposed to know that you're supposed to deliver the decent artwork you can to people. Now, if you're a rookie, okay, I'll give you props. You get in there, but don't be like, don't think that I want to give you no criticism. And of course, I have to accept criticism back, right? So, but still, come on now, guys. I'm more of a critic of art, not an artist. So I have a right to say what I want to say, and you have to say it too. Whoever the Twitter user are out there too. So don't blame me that I'm mentioning that your artwork looks like you try to gender bend everything. Trying to make it look like he, him, they, him, or they this and my non-binary that. James.
Right.
I mean, I'm tired of it.
I don't know when you became an art connoisseur, but go ahead.
But with the art, like all this artwork is like waifus, Pokemon theme, Resident Evil theme, fucking if you're into furries, they have that too. That's not my thing, but still, it's still out there. Like you'll see what I'm talking about by looking at my Twitter page. You might have to look down a bunch for a number of months, if not years, but you'll see that I'm into artwork. But people think when they look at my profile on the like section of it, like I'm a misogynist, I'm a woman hater, or I objectify a woman. I was like, no, women are beautiful people. They are deemed to be beautiful by default. Us men, yes, we have beauty too. Fabio, who was a model from the 1990s and 80s. We had Ron Jeremy with the porn industry and stuff like that in the 90s. But still, come on now. This is like.
I don't think of Ron Jeremy when I think of male models, but
I'm sorry. This is because obviously we're not deemed to be all that puffy looking. You know what I'm saying? All that beauty and shit like that. We're supposed to be more of a rugged and manly and defined men. We're not into all that beauty bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But these guys, if you want to call them guys or girls, I don't even know who's girl, a guy or a girl anymore. Because the guy will do girl stuff, the girl will do guy stuff. Like they'll post like Hello Kitty theme type of kissies, and you're a man at age 16 years old. You telling me? But if I recall correctly, back in 2006, 2008, the age range or the age requirement to go on Twitter is 18 years old and above. So that's something that has changed over the last 12 years. So excuse me if I'm a little bit out there in the open with my outdateness, if you want to call it like that. So excuse me if I have to put it out there, James.
Moving on. There's a new Metroid coming out. It's going to be a 2D Metroid game, so it's side-scrolling, called Metroid Dread. Do you have any experience with the Metroid series?
I played Metroid one time or two with friends over at each other's houses. I don't remember all the details because it's such a long time. Because we played Metro of the N64, Metro of the Super Nintendo. So it's kind of like, fuzzy memories. Like I can't remember everything about it. But it was good because I didn't know that Samus was a woman until, was it Super Smash Brothers? It's enough. The one for the Wii U. Well, not the Wii U. The Nintendo GameCube. I didn't know
Super Smash Brothers Melee.
I didn't know that the Samus suit was a woman, because I never beat that part to get up to the last part of the game back on the Nintendo system. So.
Okay, but I mean, would you be interested? If I know you don't have a Switch like I do, but would a side-scrolling new Metroid game be something of interest to you?
I'll play it for nostalgic reasons, or record it for my YouTube gaming career. I'll do that for a couple of videos, but that's about it. After that, I'm gonna collect. I'll collect it.
You're not like a huge fan of Metroid.
I can be if I really want to, but the problem is that it's too old to go back to. I mean, I never got into it. I mean, I did play it. Yes, I had the emulators on my computer back like 12, 15 years ago, but that was back then. So it's like, now it's like, oh man, Going back to do all that shit again, I'm not sure.
Okay. I never grew up with Metroid myself, so I never really like the only experience I have with Metroid is like playing the Nintendo version once. So Metroid is just one series I never really got in, never really was exposed enough to get into. But I know there are people out there who love Metroid. So if you're a fan of Metroid and you have a Switch, keep an eye out for Metroid Dread, which is going to be a 2D Metroid, which means if you're a fan of the older Metroids, you're probably going to like this one.
Oh yeah, definitely. I will buy it eventually for the Switch, but like I said, if the Switch is not appealing enough to convince me to buy it right away, then I'm gonna wait until it's like Black Friday style type of pricing. So.
Okay. Like I said, there's just when it comes to me, there's not enough games to interest me on the Switch.
Definitely.
I look at maybe 3 games that I would like on the Switch. Maybe the Mario game, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, maybe Mario Kart 8, but games like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, especially Donkey Kong Country, I already have Tropical Freeze on the Wii U. I wouldn't want to have to play the first 3 worlds over again just to get up, on a new system, just to get up to where I'm already up to.
Right.
So, so like I said, it's just, for me, there's not enough games coming out, and I said, Life is Strange is great, and look at the other game, Guardians of the Galaxy is great, but I've played those games. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I really would not play unless there was a story mode, unless I'm just, even when I had Super Smash Bros. For the Wii, when the Wii was the most recent console out from Nintendo, I didn't play Super Smash Bros. Online that often. So, it's just there's not enough franchises on Nintendo, and a bunch of the games that are coming out on Nintendo that were great, that should be played, I've already played on different consoles.
Right.
Anyway, another game coming to the Switch, Fatal Frame, Maiden of Black Water. This was originally released on Wii U. Now, Fatal Frame, Maiden of Black Water will be coming to the Switch. Did you ever play, and I know you're familiar with the Fatal Frame series like I am.
Yeah, I played Fatal Frame 2 on my demo disc version on my PS2. Very exquisite, very good. Lots of sex appeal of the ladies involved. At the same time, it's scary when I was a kid. I was getting goosebumps when I was in these rooms trying to look for ghosts and other objects and items and stuff. It's slow pace at first, but it has speed up when you go up against a ghost because you have to move around a lot to get a good picture at the ghost and to take him out or her out. So it's very good. I wish I could record it what I did back then, but then there was no capture cards back then, to my knowledge, or I didn't have the money for it. So
I recorded the gameplay on DVR when I reviewed the original Fatal Frame, but it's one series again that I just never stuck with.
If they brought back Fatal Frame 1 and 2 and 3, I would definitely buy it as a trilogy on the Switch, and I'll definitely buy the Switch altogether.
Yeah, well, coming to the Switch from the Wii U is Fatal Frame, Maiden of Black Water, which I heard is a great Fatal Frame game, and just a lot of people missed out on it because it was on the Wii U. But now those people that didn't play it on Wii U are going to be able to experience it on the Switch.
And you know what's funny, Triple J, that during the Wii U cycle, people heard of the Wii U, but not a lot of them. And if they did hear of the Wii U, majority of those people thought the Wii U was an add-on or an update or a slight upgrade like that of the Sega Drive for the 1990s.
Right. Yeah. So, with Nintendo, really, there's no way to say it other than when it came to the marketing of the Wii U, Nintendo dropped the ball. Because if they had pushed the Wii U like they had pushed the Wii U would have been much more successful. I mean, do you remember those commercials like two Japanese men would show up on the doorstop and they go, "We would like to play," and then they're showing the family the Wii console, like Wii Sports.
Is this a Japanese from Japan? Japanese commercial?
No, you never saw the. You never saw.
Unfortunately, no.
Oh my.
Yeah, I missed out. I missed out because I was doing a lot of reading. Going back and forth between jobs. So what happened was that I played PS2 games like Devil May Cry 1. I'll play like Time Crisis 2 and stuff like that.
Okay, I'll show it to you on.
And then during my time of not working, I'll be reading a lot of newspaper work at the same time. So
I'll show it to you on Discord. Everyone else can see it on Twitch. Do you
All
see
right.
the YouTube screen?
Not yet. It's still showing the Discord logo.
Okay. Let me stop streaming and then start it again on Discord.
Same thing. Still seeing the logo.
If there's a way to refresh Discord, let me do that now.
Hold on. Let's see if I can change the turn off the camera. That's me right there. Share my screen. Mute. Volume.
Why does this always work only the first time on Discord?
You share with me in the chat box. Don't need to broadcast it on Twitch. I'll look at it later.
Okay. Okay, I'll post a link and then I'll show it to everyone on Twitch so they can see what I'm talking about. Here's the link for everyone that wants to see it currently. Here goes.
Yeah, I don't remember this kind of. I don't remember these two Japanese guys. Yeah, this was never on TV.
Yes, this was on TV.
Not my region. Remember, I'm in the northeastern.
Region in 2006.
Not on TV, maybe on the internet.
No, this was on TV.
This long?
Well, not this long, but like definitely the first part of the commercial.
Okay, so it's compilation.
I'll stop the video. But yeah, that.
Now I'll be open.
I remember seeing that commercial all the time. We would like to play, and they're showing off Wii Sports to the family, and then those Japanese guys would drive off, like high-fiving each other because they just got another family interested in the Wii. But we never saw commercials like that for the Wii U. So.
All right. I see that. I'm minute and 30 of it, so.
Yep. And the last story, GameStop is offering early access to new consoles, but only if you're a Pro member. So basically, if you've been unlucky due to the PS4 or Xbox, well, not PS4, PS5 and Xbox Series shortages, if you're a Pro member on GameStop, you'll be able to have access when they get restocked. Where if you're not a Pro member, you're shit out of luck. Yeah.
They try to milk every cent from that for those higher payers, because obviously I'm not gonna buy a Pro membership at GameStop anymore. Never did, never will. Now I will collect points over time buying used games at GameStop, which I did up until like mid 2015, 2014, and then after that I just stopped. I barely go to GameStop in person, so.
Yeah, the closest GameStop to me is like over 27 miles away. So like, all my business is, if I buy anything from GameStop, it's at GameStop.com. I just check them. But really, I only check GameStop if they have good prices. Because what I do is I go, like, say I'm interested in buying anything, I go to Google.com, I type it in, I click the shopping tab, then I click sort price low to high, so I can spend as little as possible on whatever I want. Yeah. So, but I thought the reason you had a subscription to Game Informer was through GameStop.
Yeah, you're right, but it's you can go on the Game Informer website and buy it directly from them, that actual entity.
But isn't it $5 cheaper through GameStop?
Depends on where it depends on what you're buying, because if they have a sale right now where you go in person to GameStop and they're selling it for $14.99, then it's a good deal, you know. But they're not doing that anymore.
Yeah. Okay, so that's yeah. When I was subscribed to Game Informer myself, I always I basically thought, hey, the Game Informer subscription was worth the $15 a year by itself, not to mention all the other perks that came with the Pro membership.
Yeah, I think they stopped doing that for a while now.
But yeah, I haven't had a Pro membership since like 2016 myself, so.
But I've been buying. I've been buying the subscription every month since 2017 on my own, and it costs like around like between $20 and maybe $25 for the 2 years.
Okay, so that's not so bad.
Yeah, because like about $5 an issue or $2, $3 an issue. So.
Yeah, it's a lot better than buying every issue every month separately.
Definitely.
But yeah, so if you're a Pro member on GameStop and you still haven't been able to get a PS5 or Xbox Series console, you're gonna have early access will be coming when they restock. If you're not a Pro member, then I guess the search continues. So anyway, this has been the. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we go?
No, that's all I wanted to say from earlier about the artwork and stuff like that. Because guys, just to clarify one more time, I'm not saying that I sound perverted, or whatever, when I talk about artwork, or whatever. But that's how it is back in the day. Because back during Leonardo da Vinci's time, Picasso, these guys make works of art that all not hypersexualized, but they entice the beauty of the woman, or entice the beauty of nature and stuff like that. So you can't just be like, I'm like some sort of misogynist for putting that stuff out there. Everything on the internet is amplified, so I'm not some pervert in person. This is just what we see on the internet through our profile. And if people can't accept that, then I don't know what to say about them. And these are younger people. These are younger people that don't know a thing or two about what I went through, what we went through as kids. And I'm not saying they have to be exactly the same, but come on now, you guys don't know about Picasso or Leonardo da Vinci or the Mona Lisa, whoever made that. Come on now.
Well, who's saying they don't know about that? I mean, we learned about that in school.
But they think that like the way I put myself out there on Twitter with all that artwork that I repost or I like or I retweet or I criticize from the retweets, they think that I'm some sort of misogynist or some shit like that. It's kind of weird. Like I'm objectifying a woman, knowing that the picture's objectifying a woman, yes, by default, but it's artwork.
Right. Okay, so anyway, let me check to see what date. The next podcast will be July 3rd. That's 2 weeks from tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern.
I have a 4th of July Independence Day. We'll have a war coming.
Yes. If you're on my Twitch page, go to my About section. I sell video games on price charting. The price charting link is there. My BitChute link is there if you want to see my Let's Play videos. I will be streaming on Twitch tomorrow, most likely Total Extreme Wrestling 2020. And in 2 weeks, The next podcast, episode number 24, will be on July 3rd at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Alrighty then.
Hopefully you can join me for my stream tomorrow. Hopefully we'll see you in 2 weeks for the podcast. Until then, good night, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.